morning. It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization and Locked On Big 12 and from the world. The sense of togetherness of the World Cup is where we will start today, but fret not. I am incredibly excited. I have been told that we have to start with the World Cup or there will be a mutiny because of what happened with Mexico yesterday. Addie Bates, who produces, Laura Jimenez runs the board. They're both very excited to talk World Cup, and we're going to because it's maybe the biggest story in the world right now. But then quickly after that, Terrion Arnold, it's not funny, but it's got there's something to it here. The cornerback for the Detroit Lions, I didn't really read into the story until just this morning, like kind of now in the last 20 minutes, robbed people and kidnapped them? ? Allegedly, at least. Pistons are trading Isaiah Stewart to the Grizzlies. There are trade talks surrounding LaMelo Ball from the Hornets. The second they finally figure it out, the Hornets are like, nah, I don't know. Being good kind of sucks. What if we traded, our best player, our star, the guy who's got the name on our roster? That is where we will go today. And the Giants, the Nori deal with the Trailblazers is a total slap in the face. That's what J.B. Bickerstaff had to say about the Portland Trailblazers hiring Coach Mike Nori as their head coach on a 1-year deal with options, team options for year 2 and year 3. That is terrible. And again, J.B. Bickerstaff called them out. He's the National Basketball Coaches Association president. We will get there, and we will certainly talk about this Giants Pride Night Bible verse. What do you do with it? Because it's this weird thing like, you shut up and sit down and talk about sports. Yes, I want to get there. I want us to shut up and sit down and talk about sports. But the Giants keep bringing this up. Reporters keep bringing this up. Buster Posey doesn't have a clear answer. So what do we do when MLB players don't want to wear Pride Night hats? Well, I've got news for you. No one's making the MLB players wear Pride Night hats. They have the option to either do it or not. And if you don't do it, guess what? You'll probably get some backlash the first 24, 48 hours, and it probably doesn't get brought up again. But the whole, what we'll do? We'll wear the Pride Night hats, and then we'll write Bible verses on our hats for the first time all year. Well, do you write Bible verses on your hats usually, to exercise your right as a Christian or a person of faith? No, we're going to do it tonight. Well, why don't you do it every night? Well, we're going to do it tonight to make a statement. Why don't you make a statement every night if it means that much to you or if it's that personal to you? Or why not just, not wear the Pride Night hat if that makes you uncomfortable? Which, by the way, might I say, as somebody who, again, I've told you before, my neighbor Dale is gay, and Dale is a very normal person. Dale sold me a crepe myrtle. I got 2 of them, actually. He was like, hey, man, I got a pretty good deal on crepe myrtles. You want 2 for $100? Like, yeah, Dale, I do. Thank you. Now I have 2 crepe myrtles in my backyard, thanks to my neighbor Dale, which has nothing to do with him being gay. It's just like, if Dale was like, hey, dog, do you mind? I've got a pride flag I'm going to hang up in front of my house for June, just because I think that in the gay community I feel underrepresented still, or I feel like this is something that I'm passionate about. You know what, Dale? I can't stop you. This is this is your front lawn. Thanks for the crepe myrtles. And now the Giants, assorted Giants players, are taking a stand against Pride Nights. What do we do with all that? We'll get there over the course of the show. We have to start in the World Cup. Addie Bates, for the first time, it's a rarity. It's an important show. Oh, Laura's just been beamed up into the sky. Addie, there she is. Addie, it's a rare show when you're hopping on in the first segment. Good morning.
How are you?
I am not as good as you and Laura.
No.
It's 11 o'clock last night. My phone's blowing up. Viva Mexico. I'm just sitting there watching, trying to sleep, falling asleep to a slop documentary about someone murdering someone else. This guy killed his wife and his 2 kids last night. They always be murdering in those Netflix documentaries.
What are you sleeping to? What are you falling asleep to?
Did you watch the one?
He's a freak.
Where the lady pretended to be pregnant for 10 months?
I have not seen it yet, but I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, not good. It's not good. Okay, the floor is yours. The World Cup, Mexico. And go.
That game was amazing. When Ochoa came out, their goal match. Thank you. When by the way, they were playing against as the announcer said. The announcers kept saying Czechia. Do you say Czechia or Czechia?
Czechia. I say
Thank
Czechia,
you.
but that's yeah.
That's what the announcer said too. Cool. I got corrected on that yesterday, and I was like, whatever.
Don't bully her.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Continue.
Memo Ochoa, the legendary goalie for Mexico, who's been playing in the World Cup since 2006. I was 4 years old when he first started, and this was basically his farewell game. He came out, I think, in like minute 78, and I stood up. I stood up the entire time that he came out there. I was almost crying in this bar. I was almost crying.
You were at a bar at like 11:30?
I had a softball game.
Wow, good morning. Oh, yeah. No trivia last night?
No, our trivias are now on Tuesdays, softball Wednesdays, kickball Thursdays.
Wow. That sounds like
Packed schedule.
a lot of binge drinking in the middle of your week now.
I did not drink.
Oh, wow.
Again?
something-
We're
something.
so proud of you.
Well, that's because of Nashville.
Yeah.
But she's still hungover from that, apparently.
Yeah, true, correct. So Ochoa comes in, saw it big, but we have audio for later in the show on this, but continue, please. This is a special moment for you at the bar.
No, I think across the entire world, like all of us were just kind of like crying at the same time, crying tears of joy. I was texting so many people. I texted Laura, texted my dad.
me?
We were I did, because it was just such a big moment. And you saw that on the field. Did you see everybody? He got a standing ovation. They were all cheering for him. That's how much he means to the country. That's how much he means to the team. That's how much he means to the sport all across the world. My feed was blown up with Memo Ochoa kind of post this morning from everyone, from Michelob Ultra to ESPN FC.
Oh. Can you put it into NFL/college football terms by chance? Which is, because I obviously know who Memo Ochoa is, and this is a massive story for me, and I was crying too. But for those who might, not know who Memo Ochoa is,
I think, I don't want to say Tom Brady, because, longevity maybe, but he's more like a Peyton Manning, it's like where he's more beloved, but he's also not them at the same time. He's just, in terms of age and longevity, I would say. Laura, who would you say he's the most similar to?
I would say, I don't know. I don't know.
like
That's a good. And in college, I'm
Aaron-
not familiar with college enough to make comparisons.
Aaron Rodgers without the
No.
drugs, maybe?
No, because he's beloved by everyone. Like, you can't hate him.
Oh.
And he wasn't.
Like if Jameis Winston played until he was 46. Is that a better way to put this?
And was good in the NFL.
Yeah, 30 touchdowns at one time. Yes, 30
one
interceptions
time.
as well.
If he was like the greatest quarterback of all time, yes.
So Memo Ochoa is the greatest Mexican soccer player ever?
I would say the goalie-wise,
Okay.
yeah.
A
Okay.
keeper.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if
And
you're...
he was there for monumental occasions that we will not repeat of.
Okay. I'm trying to think of then a position that's not quarterback, like somebody who's really, really good, like one of the great running backs of all time who played for 20 years. Like a Frank Gore. Yeah. American hero Frank Gore. Maybe it's just not, there's not a comparison. Maybe he's just Memo Ochoa. And we have the audio from his moment when he entered the match last night on Fox.
We're just allowing Mexico to play and bring on the party pieces. Raul Rangel makes way for the legend. And we are talking about one of the greats of Mexican football, Guillermo Ochoa. In his 40s now, but age is not withering him. And it's a delight to see Ochoa on the pitch at another World Cup. Well, it's a standing ovation from 80,000 people.
Yep, there you go. That's the moment. That's when everybody cried.
Yes.
And you hear that,
It's
Drake?
very sweet. It's pretty sweet.
Age does not mean anything.
Yeah, we've okay. Thank you for establishing that, Laura. I will put that in my notes for the show today. Memo Ochoa into the game for Mexico, and Mexico gets the win last night. We have Mateo Chávez, goal. Mexico scores. Here's another highlight from yesterday's World Cup Classic.
Romo somehow kept that going, shoveled it off. Romo. And how about this? Stylish. Really stylish. Mateo Chávez. Listen to the Mexican roar.
Listen to the Mexican roar. That's what I say when they bring the fajitas out every time I go for Taco Tuesday. Listen to the Mexican roar. And they never like it. But when the Fox guy says it, it's fine.
I hate you.
I only order fajitas because it just makes a scene. Like everybody in the rest, it's my moment in the Mexican restaurant on Tuesday. Cancun 2, as opposed to Cancun 1. That's across town. Cancun 2 is better.
He's like, can I get them fajitas?
Some fajitas.
With the cheese dip. I do every time. Also last night in the World Cup, Bosnia-Herzegovina over Qatar. How do you pronounce that one, huh?
You got that.
Yeah, 3-1, 3-1 over Qatar. Switzerland 2-1 over Canada. Canada has, of the host countries, Canada's had the roughest go at this. They will not host. They will fail to be the home, to seal home round of 32 match. Morocco 4, Haiti 2. Thanks for being here, Haiti. Good to see you. Glad to have you. Scotland and Brazil. It was 3-0. Brazil winning that one. Czechia falls to Mexico 3-0. What a dominant win for Mexico. 3-0 in the World Cup here. United
First time
States
ever.
and Mexico. We're kind of carrying. The United States and Mexico are carrying. Though the U.S. doesn't have to win against Turkey tonight. They're just kind of like, okay, all right. All right, I mean, we already won the group, so let's just go out and have some fun. South Africa 1, Korea 0. And because of that, South Africa makes their first World Cup knockouts ever. Here is that final call on Fox.
Area. And there it is, full time. From the disaster of Mexico City to the miracle in Monterrey. And for the first time in their history, Bafana are on to the knockout rounds of the World Cup. And remember the name, Tapelo Maseko. He scores the game winner in the 63rd. Mama Joy loves it.
So this means Czechia is bounced, and the rest of the group would be Mexico, South Africa, and South Korea all move on?
No.
Okay. Well, then help.
Wait. Well, now that you put me on the spot, I thought South Korea. Is
Oh,
South Korea moving on?
Yeah, they're
No, they
moving
will
on.
take on. Yeah, they take on Canada. Okay, so yeah, then yes, the three of them.
Yep. So the three of those, it's Czechia that will go home. I am slowly but surely learning about my World Cup. And then in the World Cup schedule today, you'll have Curacao and Ivory Coast. Everybody's excited about that one. All my friends will be glued to that one at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Do you think the Philadelphia fans are excited to watch Ivory Coast and Curacao?
They're going to start throwing bottles onto the field.
Yeah. Okay. Great. I wonder how expensive those tickets are. Should I go to Philadelphia today and watch Curacao and Ivory Coast? Many are saying.
Yes.
Many are saying. Ecuador and Germany. Germany is still undefeated. Japan and Sweden. Tunisia and the Netherlands. Paraguay and Australia. And Turkey, the United States at 10 p.m. Eastern time. 10 o'clock Eastern time tonight. Can someone explain why they're doing this? Why am I being subjected to this?
Mexico started at 9 yesterday.
I know, and by then I am in bed, 3 melatonin deep, watching my slop movies, documentaries where people are murdering other people, which happens every. You know, 3 women are killed by boyfriends or ex-boyfriends every day.
Yes.
Oh my God.
We know that.
Yes.
3.
We know that.
Yes.
I'm
That's
glad
a lot
you
of
now
women
know
in the
that.
United States. 3 of them.
We should address that. It is an
Lock-
epidemic.
Lock your doors. I did not know.
It's
like
not even.
That doesn't help. That doesn't
Yes,
do anything.
yeah.
That doesn't do anything.
lock your cars. This was news
Yeah,
to
we
me.
do. We do.
Did you see the news of that? This has become a fraternal. I like the conversation to begin the morning. Did you see the news where the literal NFL player robbed and kidnapped 4 people allegedly?
Yeah, I do that for
No,
Joey
this is
Lopez.
news to me.
It's pretty crazy. I did not know that you could do that. Turns out can't. The government and the police are saying we probably shouldn't be doing that.
He'll be back. He'll be back week 1.
Probably hashtag free with the zeros, number zero.
Free
Hashtag
who?
free zero. Free zero. Yep, there you go. When we come back, an NFL player kidnapped 4 people, allegedly. Oh, and the NBA draft wrapped up last night. Let's give you the A's, the B's, the C's. Let's grade a couple of these teams and who excelled in their second round and who got instant impact guys 24 hours, like 8 hours ago, and in the last 48 hours in total. This is Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
We're going to get drunk before the game. We're going to get drunk during the game, and then we're going to get drunk after the game.
I'm excited!
Yeah, baby!
Soccer! Yeah! It's the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Drake Toll with you. From the Savannah Bananas. Locked on Big 12. Boom, baby. Again, I realize every now and then that we are in podcast form. And so what you will hear on the podcast, you can listen to the Drake Toll Show every day. The podcast is palatable, too. You can listen to the whole show live right now, Sirius XM 375, or the Drake Toll Show YouTube channel, or the Westwood One Sports app. I realize the podcast is pretty palatable because you can make it 2 times speed if you want to. And there are no breaks, so it's just like 2 hours of the Drake Toll Show. Also, the music's taken out, so all you'll hear right there is just unprompted silence, and then me go, soccer! And it creates at least 6 or 7 really awkward moments over the course of your 2 hours listening to the podcast. Good morning, Addie, who edits the podcast.
And you tell me, you're like, can you edit out those when I say those, please? I'm like, no. No.
Well,
If you want to look like a fool, you're going to look like a fool. You're going to sit in your mess.
It just makes so much more sense when the music's playing. But the podcast, the music's cut out.
But, okay, so if we want to have the music playing, I've sent royalty-free beds. There's the thing. There's the answer. And you're like, no, I don't want these.
Yeah, they're all kind of stupid. So.
Yeah, so then, you cannot have your cake and eat it too, okay? You just gotta, he complains, and he complains, but
Laura,
he doesn't like the solution.
Do you have the pigeon song? Is the pigeon song queued up somewhere
God,
in here?
that song is awesome.
It's the pigeon. Correct. This is the equivalent of what Addie sends me. Is like, here's a good rejoin song.
That's not the truth.
Welcome back to the Drake Toll Show.
God, you are such a liar.
Westwood One
this
Sports.
one?
No, play one of the royalty-free rejoins.
Yeah, let's try it. Let's see what we got going on over there. You got one, Laura?
Not queued up right now.
Good, thank you.
Oh, but I'll play it for the next.
You will
No,
come back.
no,
You'll come back with it, so you can see that he's an
Please,
idiot.
no.
He's our idiot.
Actually, hold on. Actually, just kidding. I do have it.
They're all. See, this is so bad.
Actually, I did not send that one. I don't know
No,
where this
these
came
are
from.
the ones I have.
This is
here.
the company one. This is the Drake Toll Show. Good morning. Live on the Westwood One. Yeah.
Okay, it's
come
not
on.
that bad. Relax.
No,
It's-
he would
it's
rather
not
come back
great.
to that stupid ass. I'm the purple people leader, purple people pants, purple people,
The
people,
Purple People song is really good.
And
I
then
regret to tell you, I took the boat out yesterday. I listened to the Purple People song, and I
God,
had
you're insufferable.
I had one of those Bahama Mama canned cocktails. I only had 4 sips, and then I wanted to throw up because it's just gross, 12% alcohol. And so I threw it away. But I did. I listened to the Purple Hat Pete Cheetah Print Dancing on the People.
Peachy's crazy.
People.
That's a
I
crazy one.
did. What a slip there. Oops.
That's crazy.
Oops. You know, other morning radio shows, I'm realizing now, have 17 hosts. Why do they? What happens there? Who died and was like, every morning show should have 4 hosts?
We're
and
trying.
8
We've been trying. We lost Curtis. We'll see how long Laura's here.
We what?
No, he's
What hap-
alive. He's alive. Not like that.
What happened to Curtis, man?
Roommate C. Cat has abandoned the show. Sinatra's left. Like, it's a lot for them.
Yeah, well, I'm watching right now. Again, I quad box other morning shows. Like, how do they have their 8 producers all chime in on the show? They all have microphones.
What's wrong with me? What's wrong
And
with your
there are 3
producer?
hosts. Nothing. There is one of you.
Mm-hmm.
You are 1/8 of what the other networks seem to be talking with this morning.
And weren't you
I-
denied? Weren't you denied a co-host or something? Is that
commend you for
rumors
that.
or is that rumor true?
That's a rumor.
Oh,
That's
okay.
a rumor. They were like, but you're so good alone. You're so good solo. I was like, well, I don't know. Come on. All right. If I had a co-host, we wouldn't have had time to play Mexico's highlights today.
Yeah, we would, because you'd have a Mexican co-host.
Oh.
Yeah.
Someone get Curtis on the phone. I have a new opportunity for him. I have a venture.
He will not be picking up that phone. I'll tell you that.
And I want Curtis. He'll text Addie. He will respond to Addie
Yes.
now. I found that out.
Do you think if Drake calls him, do you think it would even go through? Do you think the number is blocked?
He would.
It's a non-zero chance. It's a non-zero chance. I'm willing to admit that as an adult here today.
He's moving on to the big radio in the sky, like you said. He's moving on to big and better things.
Going
Not
up to
dead.
the radio in the sky. Radio in the sky.
Not dead, just not Westwood One Sports. Just Westwood One.
You know who isn't dead, but their NFL career is probably dead? Terrion Arnold. First-round draft pick, Alabama kid. Ari Mirov tweets yesterday. Lions cornerback, Terrion Arnold, has been arrested in connection with an armed robbery and kidnapping in Tampa, Florida, earlier this year. He's facing multiple felony charges that carry a maximum sentence of life in prison. The case will be filed with Hillsborough County State Attorney's Office in Hillsborough County, Florida. I read that and thought, no, must be some sort of mistake here. An NFL corner would not have robbed and kidnapped people, but boy, does it kind of sound like he may have robbed and kidnapped people. This is odd. Mirov tweets, the full Terrion Arnold story, according to Tampa police, is stunning. I want to read you part of this. Police say this all started after Terrion Arnold and first-rounder to 2024 NFL draft. He's played 2 years in the NFL and been fine. Now, he hasn't panned out like your Alabama first-round draft pick corner should, but he's been fine. Police say after this all started, several others had property stolen from an Airbnb that Arnold rented in Largo in early February. Investigators say Arnold believes some of the eventual victims were responsible, even though police later determined they were not involved in that theft. So if I'm reading this right, Arnold is renting an Airbnb. Stuff is allegedly stolen from that Airbnb. And he decides, let me go get them back by, allegedly, kidnapping and robbing them, eye for an eye. February 3rd, police say Arnold and Bokai Hilton, who investigators say helped coordinate the alleged setup, directed Ariana Del Valle and Jasmine Randazzo, this is crazy, by the way, like this, now we're just mafia names, to contact one of the victims and lure him to an apartment in Tampa. Hey, baby, it's Ariana Del Valle and Jasmine Randazzo. Want to come to our apartment in Tampa and get it on? So around midnight, February 4, investigators say the victims arrived at the apartment. Yeah, Ariana Del Valle and Jasmine Randazzo, let's get it on. The victims arrived at the apartment. Once they entered a bedroom, police say Christian Williams, again, we're just crazy names, and Lindell Hudson, who had been hiding in a closet, jumped out, grabbed the victims, held them at gunpoint, and attacked them. So they thought, these are the dudes that robbed us at our Airbnb. We'll get them back. We'll have these pretty ladies, invite them over to their apartment in Tampa, and then we'll hold them at gunpoint and attack them because they robbed us. When it turns out that the dudes that they were attacking and robbing had nothing to do with the other robbery at all. They were just random dudes. Investigators say the incident was streamed to Arnold, Hilton, and Freddie Hughes while they were traveling to the apartment. Hey, yo, bro, FaceTime me when you beat these guys up. Police also say there was a group chat involving the defendants and that Arnold and Hilton gave directions through that chat while the attack was happening. An hour later, police say Arnold, the NFL player, Terrion Arnold, arrived at the apartment. This is what police say. He arrived at the apartment with Hilton, Hughes, and someone else, unnamed. He directed them to go inside while the robbery was still going on. Investigators say property was stolen from the victims during the attack around 1:40 a.m. Police say the victims were escorted out of the apartment by armed suspects and forced into their vehicle before leaving the scene. Police say Del Valle, Williams, another individual, got into a vehicle driven by the NFL player Terrion Arnold and left the area. Victims later reported the incidents to Tampa police because, hey, we got kidnapped and robbed. They identified the suspects after search warrants were executed and the investigation continued. Detectives arrested multiple people in the case over the following weeks, and police say Arnold was the primary conspirator in the alleged robbery and kidnapping plot. He turned himself in Wednesday night and is now facing 4 counts of kidnapping and 4 counts of armed robbery. Let me say this. NFL players can get away with a lot. You can drunk drive. You can hit people that you probably shouldn't hit. And usually we'll get to a point where like, hey man, things happen. Handshake, hug, see you later, you're playing week 1. #free4. The Roshu Rice one's just a great example of guy drives car way too fast, over 100 miles an hour, causes a pileup, gets out of the car, the wrecked vehicle, and runs away. And his teammates are like, no, don't suspend him. Come on. He's just playing car pranks. Just a little joke. Just a little kind of, it's a joke he does. Now we got a guy who is allegedly kidnapping people and robbing them. You're an NFL player. If someone stole something from your Airbnb, these 2 victims, these random jabrones that were coerced to do, get it on and stuff, to go to this apartment in Tampa. If that was the case, man, don't you think that you could get these jabrones arrested just by calling the cops? Saying, hey, somebody robbed my Airbnb. And the cops would say, okay, we'll arrest them for robbery. In the end, the way this is all written is Arnold wanted to get revenge. And in an effort to get revenge, had the wrong guys, just not even suspects, people who did not do the thing that he was accusing them of doing, random dudes, and he helped kidnap them. If that is true, I think we've broken the threshold of domestic violence and gambling. We've broken the threshold of domestic violence. We've broken the threshold of hit and run, and crossed over into kidnapping. And I don't think Terrion Arnold will. At the very least, he'll be suspended 2 games by the Lions and may go to prison for the rest of his life. Strange story, man. Really strange story. You went from a police report for a robbery for missing items in your Airbnb to now a felony. And Arnold says he had jewelry, $100,000 in cash, NFL-issued cell phone that were all stolen. And so, again, instead of just going to the police with all this, he wanted some retaliation. And that retaliation may put him in prison for life. Hey, man, FaceTime me when you do it. Bad idea. The NBA draft also happened over the course of the last 36 hours. Way more fun, way cooler. Biggest winners, I thought Oklahoma City getting Adai Mara at number 12, 7'3", 260 pounds. If everybody in the world wants to ensure that they can beat Victor Wembanyama, you need somebody not named Chet Holmgren, the pushover Chet Holmgren, who's anchoring the inside. And now Adai Mara is going to be that for Oklahoma City. It's devastating to the rest of the West. It's devastating to Dusty May, Adai Mara's old college coach at Michigan, that Mara is now a member of the Oklahoma City Thunder. And he, Dusty May, with the Dallas Mavericks, will have to face Mara on a consistent basis. This should be devastating to Victor Wembanyama. The Thunder just became, again, in my book, the favorites to win the NBA title in 2026. Memphis Grizzlies, Cam Boozer. Thought that was a good pick. Kareem Lopez, 21. I thought the biggest winners of this draft were Oklahoma. I thought Oklahoma City was winner number 1 for what they got at number 12. The Memphis Grizzlies getting Cam Boozer, who could have been a first overall pick in any other draft. It's pretty good. Losers, still the Dallas Mavericks. And there wasn't much the Mavs could do in my book yesterday to revive that, to make me be like, oh, wow, the Mavs. No, it was Dallas taking the worst of the 3 players that are coming out of Michigan and bringing them into the. So Dallas got Morez Johnson Jr., who's the worst of the 3 Michigan guys who are going in the lottery, And then yesterday, traded to Dallas via the Los Angeles Lakers, they got Vsevolod Ishchenko. Vsevolod Ishchenko. So you already ticked off your fan base with the first guy. Like, why would you get him and not Braden Burries or one of the other, or Adai Mara, one of the other really good Michigan kids? But now you get Morez Johnson Jr. and Molotov Cocktail. Those are the two guys you got. Vsevolod Ishchenko. Congrats, Dallas. Charlotte Hornets also have had kind of a weird. I didn't mind the Christian Anderson pick out of Texas Tech. The Hans Steinbach pick I thought was at 14 was early. I'm always pro trade down if you know you're getting a guy with you're getting a guy a little bit too early here. Oh, we got our guy. Okay. I thought the Dallas Mavericks, Charlotte Hornets were on the low end of my list out of this NBA draft as far as flashy and sexy goes. Questions about the Knicks, the way the Knicks drafted too. But it's fine. They won the NBA title. They can kind of do whatever they want. And the Hornets, these trade rumors about LaMelo Ball. It's like, okay, don't like that. What a not a great 36 hours for the Hornets individually, who I thought were finally, okay, we're winning. 44-win season. Hey, we're winning now. We want to win. Just kidding. We don't want to win. When we come back, it's time for our biggest losers of the day. It's Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
The Washington Wizards made BYU's A.J.
Looking backwards, half unconscious from the pain. They may seem rearranged in the backwater swirling. There's something that'll never change. And hey, I'm blind.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app.
Come on, this one's not that bad.
It's not bad. He's just being an idiot.
It's pretty bad.
Purple people, peach eater, people, purple people, pants, purple cheetah, peach eater.
It sounds like AI GarageBand because it is AI GarageBand.
Do you want
With
to do you
some
want the
risk-
podcast? Do you want the podcast to sound good? Do you want it to sound professional because we don't use rejoins, or do you want to
No,
just
I
listen
don't
to Purple
know.
People Eater?
I want, and I say this with my chest, I want a radio show. That's it.
But we're a sports radio. We're not talk
And
or
every
music.
radio show does use a rejoin. Like,
Yes.
welcome back to the Drake Toll Show.
Yes.
I want a radio show. I don't want a podcast. I don't want a TV show. I don't want a YouTube. I don't want a Twitter.
He does not want a radio show.
I want a radio show. I want to be on the radio, and our radio. I want the live radio program to have a unique bit of personality and sound.
Oh, it does.
And so if the podcast is like, oh, the podcast sounds kind of clunky. Okay. All right. This isn't a podcast, it's a radio show. Good morning. I'm glad that you're listening to the podcast at 4 p.m. today, right now, wherever you are. My mom listens to the podcast. She might be the only one that listens to the show in podcast form. Like, I want more than anything. I missed the day. 2006. They didn't have podcasts, didn't have TV radio shows. They had radio shows. That's what I miss. That's what I yearn for. That's what I think we've built, is a unique radio show, thanks to Addie Bates and Laura Jimenez.
I'm going to remember this.
Is the Drake Toll Show on Westwood One Sports. Here's Drake Toll.
Take it away, Drake Toll.
They had a guy sit in the world's largest room, and they said scream until it echoes, and then we'll record it. And they did. This is Westwood One!
Westwood One!
Correct. That gets me every time. That gets
That's
me.
Curtis.
We did
That's
that.
actually Curtis.
That is Curtis. We sat Curtis down. We robbed him. We kidnapped Curtis, and we used Ariana Del Valle to lure him to an apartment in Tampa. And then we tied him up. We made him scream. We made him scream
He's gonna
Westwood
hate
One.
you.
Westwood One. I wonder where he is now. Is he thinking about me?
No.
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 Again, every day 3 people are murdered by their partner or ex-partner.
I think it's
It's
every
about-
hour.
Yeah.
I think it's every hour. I don't think it's every day. I think it's more. I think it's
more
every
frequent.
hour.
Yeah.
Okay, no. 62 women aren't dying every hour at the hands of murder.
Please go to biggest losers of the day. I'm not going to argue that one right now.
You don't have to. It's not true.
You don't think that 62 women die around the world?
Every hour in the United States, I think 62 people die.
You said United States. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
actually, I think I do.
62 women are murdered by their ex-partners every hour in the United States.
I don't know.
We would be out of women in 3 weeks.
God, what would Drake Toll do?
I would not know how to function. How many is that in a day? 24 times 6. That's right, man. 62. 1,488 women a day?
Yeah, okay, so then, yeah, globally it is 137.
A day?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
But
I thought you were talking about the world. We're not
62
talking about the world?
an hour? No, 62 an hour is...
I did not say 62 an hour. You said that. I said I thought it was like 3 every hour across the world.
3 every hour. Yeah, it probably is 3 every hour across the world. Yeah,
All
that
right,
makes sense.
anyways. What time is it?
That's a lot of women. It's time for our biggest
Time.
losers of the day. Biggest loser number 1. People who kill their partners. Shouldn't do it. The biggest loser number 2. People who kidnap people and rob them, allegedly, especially if you're in the NFL. Don't do that. I keep telling them, don't do that. Biggest loser of the day. The president has a friend who is on the, quote, fat drug, and he might just be, as designated by the president, our biggest loser of the day today. Take a listen.
Who takes the fat drug? So in New York, think of it. It was costing a fortune. Many, many times. It was costing $1,300. And in London, it was $87. And a friend of mine who's extremely fat, sloppy, but very brilliant. He's a brilliant businessman, but he's a slob. There's no question about it. Very neurotic person, which you need sometimes to be successful. But he called me up. He used to call me Donnie. Donnie! Now he calls me Mr. President. That's sounding great respect. But he said, President, I just came over here and I won't say Ozempic or whatever the hell it was, but I bought the fat drug. I said, I didn't know you used it because it's not working. And I use him as he's begging me not to use his name, so I won't, but he's a very successful guy. He's actually a pretty well-known guy, brilliant business guy, worth a lot of money. And he checked, he just, he said, well, how come in London I just sent out and...
No real thesis. We never really got to a huge thesis there. But there were I got the fat drug. I was like, well, it's not working. Again, in another life, he is one of the great comedians of our time.
Many good ones in there.
And just that he got... I also love that now he calls me Mr. President, which is, in our culture, a sign of great respect. Which in our culture, biggest loser of the day is whoever his friend is, very famous, very successful, slightly neurotic, is on the fat drug. That's another add to the losers. The Miami Marlins organization is the biggest loser of the day. Take a listen to this.
Yeah, he did. He struck him out. And there it is. Sandy Alcantara stands alone as Miami's all-time new strikeout leader.
They haven't really acknowledged that yet here in the ballpark. He knows. I think he was aware of that coming in. He looks around to see if they put on the scoreboard. They did not. They still have the count as 1 ball, 3 strikes.
Look at Clay. He is not happy, and neither is that Marlins dugout. They're telling the fans to stand up and applaud Sandy.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it out there. See, the problem I have, most of the fans here tonight should know that without having to look at the scoreboard.
And now he's doffing his cap, so the fans in the know. That's great.
A lot of problems. It wasn't put up on the scoreboard right away, which it should have been. And a lot of fans who came here should have known it anyway. Little things like that irritate me, Kyle.
I know they do. I understand.
And they'll put it up on the scoreboard. There we go. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. Most strikeouts in Marlins history. Scoreboard was working on a 30-second delay, but it finally got there.
What a really awkward moment. You break a franchise record, all-time strikeouts for the Marlins, and no one really noticed or seemed to care. Even the Marlins staff, who did put up on the video board. Added bonus to this one. Addie went on a date with someone who was shown on camera in this clip.
I was wondering who that was.
I watched a couple times. Was it the coach, possibly?
No, someone in the dugout. It was a bit of a jump scare. I was like, oh, wow. Didn't mean to look at that. Oops. It was a little crazy. I will say this, though.
Addie goes on dates with MLB players, since we've now established that.
God, I thought this was America. I will say that this is on the Marlins, because I don't think the average fan would know that. But if you work with any sports organization, like when I work with the Washington Capitals, and still do, where every game would be like, here's how many, until the next milestone for every single person. We have graphics, right? We have all this kind of stuff. So yes, they dropped the ball.
Man, can we use the Dalton Rushing thing in obituaries? I'm tired of him. You know what? I'm putting my foot down. I don't think I like Dalton Rushing. And
roast it.
And I'm ready to say it. I'm finally ready to admit that.
Take that.
Yeah. Now what, Dalton Rushing? And you know what? We'll move AJ DeMonza to our obituaries. Dead today. That'll be dead today. Is disrespect to your parents. But our final biggest loser, Brendan Sorsby, kicking the air right now. Oklahoma State is using a gambling brand, a casino, on their jerseys as an ad next season. Brendan Sorsby gambles, gets sent to the gulag. Now Oklahoma State uses a casino on its jerseys to promote casino. Uh-oh. Whatever it is, rules for thee, but not for me. Those are today's biggest losers of the day. You know what? Reiterate. Throw in the Lions guy that allegedly kidnapped 4 people and held them at gunpoint. I can't do that. FaceTime me. I want to see their face. I want to see them cry. Addie Bates produces. Laura Jimenez runs the board. To Colin Jones, Armin Williams, Bruce Gilbert, and Ryan McGuire. Thank you for a job. I thought they thanked them twice today. I'm feeling grateful. There's this air of thanks I wanted to give.
Okay.
Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. When we come back, it's our obituaries. This is the Drake Toll Show.
This is
trucking, got my chips cashed in, keep trucking, like the Doodah Man, together, more or less in line, just keep trucking on.
Arrows of neon and flashing marquees out on Main Street, Chicago, New York, Detroit, and it's all on the same street. A typical city involved in a typical daydream. Hang it up and see what tomorrow brings.
Dallas got a soft machine. Houston, too close to New Orleans. New York got the ways and means and just won't let you be.
Most of the cats that you meet on the street speak of true love. Most of the time they're sitting and crying at home. One of these days they know they gotta get going. Out of the door and down to the street all alone.
Trucking like the Doodah Man once told me, you got to pay your hand. Sometimes the cards ain't worth a dime if you don't lay them down. Sometimes the light's all shining on me. Other times I can barely see. Lately it occurs to me, what a long, strange trip it's been.
What in the world ever became of Sweet Jane? She lost her sparkle, you know she isn't the same. Living on Reds, vitamin C, and cocaine. All a friend can say is ain't it a shame?
Looking up the buffalo, been thinking you got to mellow slow. It takes time to pick a place to go and just keep trucking on.
Sitting and staring out of the hotel window. Got a tip, they're gonna kick the door in again. I'd like to get some sleep before I
busted down on Bourbon Street. Set up like a bowling pin, knocked down. It gets to wearing thin. It just won't let you be.
You're sick of hanging around and you like to travel. Get tired of traveling, you want to settle down. I guess I can't revoke your soul for trying. Get out of the door, light out and look all around.
Sometimes the light's all shining on me. Other times I can barely see. Lately it occurs to me. What a long, strange trip it's been. Trucking, I'm going home. Whoa, whoa, baby, back where I belong. Back home, sit down and patch my bones and get back trucking. Home, 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 home.
This is the Drake Toll Show on Westwood One Sports. Here's Drake Toll.
I don't even know where to begin. It's like if Andy Sandberg had control of the show. This has some I threw it on the ground. That's what that.
You know who this is, though, right?
No, I don't. Is this a real song? That's a great game. Real song or fake song that we rejoin with?
Real or fake? It's Kendrick Lamar.
Really? Which one is this?
Squabble Up. Which you're going to have to do right now.
What is it? Okay. 310-840-4910. What does it mean to squabble up? This would be news to me. It's a new one for me. What?
Nothing. Laura, you'll learn. He does not, if it's not like country music, he does not know.
Oh, I mean, we can pull some country. We'll do that tomorrow. Say less. Man, say less.
Just new
Except
for
he
me.
probably won't know like Charlie Pride, or he won't know Cassius Culpepper for reasons.
I mean, I don't know who that is either.
Do you know those people, Drake?
Yes. I know Robert Earl Keane.
Yes.
He's very good.
So do
I know we did rose-colored glasses. I don't know why. That's John Conley. He's still alive,
yes.
too? Now what, huh? That's the two. That's the two that I know. I want to go back to this Dalton Rushing thing. Can we have a moment? Dalton Rushing is catcher, LA Dodgers. Why do you not like Dalton Rushing? Can I ask you?
Yeah, because he is an ass. And you can't, so there's two things. You can be an ass, but you got to be good at what you do. He's a head case. That's my problem with him. He's calling people, he's literally called people fat. He's been like, okay, whatever, you got hurt, who cares? And he's a head case. Like Ohtani was challenging a pitch yesterday. And Dalton was like, no, don't do that, don't do that. Ohtani was correct. There have been multiple cases where people challenge pitches, and he's like, you're wrong. And then he's been wrong. Like, he's just a psychopath, and he's full of himself. And he's on a team with a bunch of all-stars and superstars and everything above. You can't act like that when you're not that good. You cannot act like that. They will humble you very quickly.
In the words of Shock G, Digital Underground, yeah, I called you fat. Look at me, I'm skinny. It never stopped me from getting busy. I'm a freak. I like the girls, the boom. I once got busy in Burger King bathroom. I'm crazy. Allow me to amaze thee. And I don't think Dalton Rushing was saying it in that context either, which therein lies the problem. I don't think he was singing the song Humpty Dance by Digital Underground. There's a video of him. He takes both hands and he's like he's slapping himself on the head, doing the little stupid, stupid, stupid motion. But it looks really awkward, and the camera's catching the dugout. And the next time the broadcast pans to it, he is sitting in the dugout talking with, according to Talking Baseball, Freddie Freeman, Dave Roberts, and the Dodgers' mental skills coach, Brent Walker. All right. The Dodgers have a mental skills coach?
Yeah.
Wow. You think the Giants have a mental skills coach? No chance, right?
We ain't doing none of that down here. Ain't no chance you're going to do the mental skills thing in
Aubrey
San
Huff would be
Francisco.
going crazy on Twitter.
Aubrey Huff had a bad day yesterday. Aubrey Huff did not take his medicine yesterday. That crash out on Twitter. He even called out my place of business, which I took offense to.
Maybe he wasn't wearing his red thong. Do you remember that?
Is he the red thong guy? Aubrey Huff the red thong?
Yes.
That's so we can again coming up at 7:40 Eastern time. We'll get the whole LGBTQ Giants thing because it's blown up. I saw somebody tweet yesterday like, for as many baseball players are homophobic or just in general don't support the LGBTQ community, they do some really questionable things, such as wearing red thongs. Like, this is the sport where you guys are, your whole thing is humping each other in the outfield, and now you're like, but I will not. Like, okay. There are articles about baseball teams that had traditions of kissing one another as celebratory acts toward their baseball squad. Again,
now they all play for the Savannah Bananas.
Hey, we have some masculine dudes. We got some real guy dudes out there. They do not Tai Chi. What's the other one where they get down on the ground and wrestle?
Oh,
It takes a lot of legs. What is it? It's not Tai Chi. Where they wrestle. You know what I'm talking about?
three-letter word?
Birds and the bees.
No. It's like a martial arts, form of martial arts, form of UFC fighters. What do they do?
The birds and the bees.
MMA. They do they get on the ground and get
So
a
what's
pin
a
down.
three-letter word? MMA.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean that's a three-letter word. Yeah. Okay.
S-E.
No. It's time for our obituaries. Dead today, disrespecting your parents. AJ DeBonsa was drafted first overall. Took the podium after he was drafted first overall and had this emotional, I don't want rant, it's a monologue. This emotional monologue about the impact of his father, Ace, on his career.
It means the world. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, so many sacrifices that he made. Like, he quit his job just to retire to, come over and got Utah Prep, so I'll be safe. Me sending me over to California by myself to go get better, basketball experience. All the little stuff I didn't notice that he was doing at a young age. Obviously, it's paying off now, but he's my dad. He acts like my manager. He does a whole bunch of stuff he doesn't have to do, but I just give him that most thing.
Fifth row on the left. AJ, we saw your full name on the gold basketball and full name announced by the commissioner. Are we having a rebrand going into the NBA, or can we stick with AJ?
Y'all can stick with AJ, but I want to have a company in East because I want to also honor my dad. He is in East Buses. It's his name. It's my day today, but without him, I wouldn't be here, so I want to honor him.
Yeah. That's the guy I want taken first overall. I said it yesterday. At the confluence, the crossroads of great culture guy and also incredible basketball player, if I need to know that I can get both, I want AJ DeBonsa, not Darren Peterson. He was the one who had overdosed on creatine. I don't need that in my locker room. I don't need that those question marks. I want AJ DeBonsa first overall. That's why you take him. Those kind of responses and what he brings to your locker room right away.
He sounds like Chris Griffin.
A little bit, yeah. I don't like that. I don't think I like that at all. And I don't want that put in my brain, but now that it is, Uh-oh, that's not good. Dead today, not kidnapping and holding people at gunpoint when you play in the NFL. In what may be the first of its kind, an NFL player, allegedly, Detroit Lions quarterback Terrion Arnold, was arrested and charged with four counts of kidnapping and 4 counts of robbery after allegedly luring victims to an apartment in Tampa and then having them beaten up and kidnapped. Addie, this is bad.
I thought this was America. No, this is crazy. But that's why. If he did drugs, he wouldn't be playing anymore. Gambled, he'd be done. He'd be done. But he'll be back week 1. So if you're going to be drafting for a fantasy team, he'll be there.
Yep, the Detroit Lions defense. Dead today. Lollipops on the baseball field? Or not lollipops on the baseball field? This was a massive topic of conversation of Jazz Chisholm having a lollipop at second base. And then day after lollipop comes through as a massive game for the Yankees. Here's Aaron Boone on his lollipop boy.
Yeah, the lollipop kid came through tonight in a big way, so that was good. He can have all the lollipops he wants now, so we're good.
Aaron, obviously the production important, but do you just feel like the spotlight seems to find him? He loves the spotlight, but it also seems like he's always in the middle of things.
All of that, yes. And people were riding him, actually before the home run, some people right around the on-deck circle were, just sucker this, lollipop that, and so I know he got a lot of satisfaction out of hitting that home run.
Do you think that fuels him a little bit when he hears a little bit of stuff like that, whether it be that or something else from opposing crowds?
Yeah, I think everything fuels. Yes.
Did you notice they shook the double bubble jar after he hit the homer? He took it and showed it to the camera. Shook it.
I did not. But you know what? If that becomes a little bit of a thing, as long as he doesn't take it out to second base with him, we're good.
Addie, are you pro or anti-lollipop here?
I am pro lollipop, but not on the field. So, Aaron Boone, for the first time ever, I'm pro, but you can't put it out there because what happens? Let's say something happens, you start choking. Like, what are you gonna do?
You die.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Those are our obituaries. Time for the quickie top 5 headlines in all of sports. Addie Bates reads them. Total response.
Here's your first headline: Hornets engaged in LaMelo trade talks.
This is both confusing and kind of actually on brand for the Hornets because they finally kind of got good, and their response to being kind of good was, well, what if we trade the guy that all the fans love and is actually really good at basketball? If I'm LaMelo, I'm pretty upset with this, obviously. I'm a Hornets fan. I'm even more upset with this. It's like, dude, we are competing. 44 wins. Great second half of the season. We became like the team people were talking about as this great story in the NBA. You'd won 19 games season prior. Again, 44 this year. The Hornets took a huge leap, in part because of a healthy LaMelo Ball. So what do? We're good. We trade away the pieces that made us good. We don't want to be good. But let me be clear. The Hornets do not want to be good. They don't care. And this is another example of that. And that stinks for Hornets fans. That is a minute. It's a bad minute.
Sources are saying that the Pistons are trading Stewart to the Grizzlies.
Yep. Saw this. I'm still questioning why. And no one can really tell me. No one can get the Pistons. So Isaiah Stewart was fine for the Pistons. 7th and 6th man of the year voting. Good rotational, consistent rotational guy. 1.5 blocks, 1.6 blocks to be exact, off the bench. Pistons won 60 games the first time in 20 years. And this is who you want to deal away? $30 million left in his contract for the next 2 years isn't crazy. And now he joins the Grizzlies team that I think is positioning itself to try to compete a little bit more. I don't know why Detroit is doing this again. Like I said, no one can tell me why this makes sense. It just 3 second-round picks go from Memphis to Detroit. I don't think that's going to make you any more of a contender. And this guy was pretty integral to your success in the regular season, and you traded him away. This might be another example, a less high-profile example of, oh, bad team gets good. First response, start trading away good players. Because just kidding. Being good is expensive. We don't want to be good anymore. That's what it seems like here. That's a minute.
Here's your next headline. White glass refs Mercury's cheap shots on Caitlin Clark.
Tomorrow on the show, we're going to do a full segment on the Caitlin Clark deal. The WNBA hates Caitlin Clark. And I put it off as long as I could. Like, okay, I don't want to go too far in on this. Maybe it's just a couple coincidences here and there. They don't use her everything promotional, and that's okay. But finally, like, it's over. It's done. The WNBA has a Shohei Ohtani. They have a Tom Brady. They have a LeBron James in Caitlin Clark. And in the growth of so my sister plays college softball, and in the growth of women's sports, since we talk about women's sports becoming a must-see product in the United States, you have to build stars. You're like, oh, stop comparing Caitlin Clark to Shohei Ohtani or to LeBron. She's her own player. Yeah, except for her own league buries her. Her own league hates her. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. You know, if you want this whole thing like, well, she's her own player, don't compare to men. Yeah, she's gonna keep getting compared to men if the last thing you want to do is publicize Caitlin Clark, one of the biggest names in sports, one of the biggest people in sports, and you won't even give her the time of a day. And now she's getting punched on the court. She's getting a fist to her neck, and well, look clean to me. She's got documentation. And we just move on with the rest of the game. This is not how. Again, I hate that you have to go to these male comparisons to make it make sense. But like, you didn't see us with Kobe. You know, we were coddling these players. These male stars were being coddled, and now the WNBA refuses to even treat Caitlin Clark fairly. Man, it is. She should play Savannah Bananas. Yep, we treat her right. We would treat her right. And I guess another piece that even a Serena Williams, Venus Williams, these women who have been at the top of their craft, top of their sport, America treated them as icons. And Caitlin Clark, now what, year 3, the WNBA should be getting that treatment, and she's not, because her own league hates her. Also, I'm seeing on Good Morning America, brutal heat wave gripped Europe. How do I get a brutal heat wave?
Grip you?
That's a minute.
Ohtani out of sync with catcher, but he rebounds for the win.
Dalton Rushing's at fault here. Dalton Rushing's at fault again. Rushing would be a great addition to the Colorado Rockies. Just go there where your career to die. Where your career dies. He'd be a great Boston Red Sox. He'd be a great San Francisco. Oh my gosh, he'd be a great San Francisco Giant. Oh, I bet he would love it there. Ship him off somewhere else where his career will go to die. He'll play 2 years. He'll find his first season in a new spot. He'll tank his second season, get shipped to AAA, and then cut altogether. This guy does not have a career in Major League Baseball. He doesn't. That kind of anger, unless you're a certified star, that kind of personality, unless you're a leader, unless the guys in the locker room are looking at Larry Bird going, you know what? He's an ass, but he's Larry Bird. So he's a leader by virtue of that. Dalton Rushing's not. You cannot complain about Shohei Ohtani. We're talking about the guy who's complaining about Shohei Ohtani.
Mm-hmm.
Your career's done. It's a minute.
Here's your final headline. Ochoa cameo cap. Perfect group stage for Mexico.
Mexico's 3-0. Mexico and the United States both have become really fun stories of the World Cup. Not that Mexico, and because both of those are teams that were expected to be wily or fine, but probably not undefeated coming out of the group stage. And now they both have the opportunity to be combined 6-0. Really cool that two of the host countries, sorry Canada, are excelling the way they are in a sport dominated by the Frances of the world. The United States and Mexico have got to take a lot of headlines, and I appreciate that. And I am rooting for I'm rooting for Mexico, and the Ochoa story is even cooler. 40 years old. 40 years in goal. 40 years old in goal that's tough. He's tending that thing. It's a minute.
Those are your headlines.
When we come back, Cameron Stewart joins the show. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a member of the Miami Heat, but he was almost a Boston Celtic, and now Jaylen Brown is mad. This is Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
The U.S. men's national team is cruising.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization and Locked On Big 12. And joining us now to talk Red Sox, talk New England, and Diana Rossini, the tell-all. So she didn't tell all, but the New York Times did yesterday. And Jaylen Brown, who was nearly traded for Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's Cameron Stewart, the Wicked Boston Show, the Indianapolis Clowns, the Banana Bowl Championship League as well. Cam, good morning. Thanks for being up early with us. Let's start with this Giannis news. I thought one of the most interesting and intricate pieces of this trade between Milwaukee and Miami was in the 24 hours after it's revealed Jaylen Brown was nearly the piece that ended up being shipped to Milwaukee in exchange for the star. Any chance that maybe it's a little awkward when Jaylen Brown shows up to the facility and says, "Hey, you guys were going to trade me"? Does that create an interesting atmosphere there?
Yeah. Jaylen Brown is like the prototypical, like, oh, I don't really care about individual accomplishments, but when I don't make the All-NBA team, I'm going to drop 40 in a playoff game and not pass the ball. Like, he clearly does care. I would say he takes things very personally, for better or for worse, which has worked in the Celtics' favor in the past. But no, I think he is going to be a disgruntled employee coming in from the parking lot. Everybody talk. You know, like he is definitely a guy who does take these things personally, and it will create an atmosphere. This is perfect, like NBA scenario. You know, one guy's out. You know, in this case, Jason Tatum for 65 games. Jaylen Brown, the team is finally his, and he looks like an MVP candidate. And now you're trying to trade him. Like, this is just perfect NBA, like, put into trade request kind of disgruntlement.
When I was in high school, middle school, Allie Robertson was the cool girl. She was the most popular girl, and always gave that rhetoric of, "Well, I hate drama. Like, drama's the worst, and I'm just here to better myself and make sure that I can be a leader." And here's the deal. Undeniable. She was captain of the cheerleading team, most popular girl. She's dating the middle school quarterback. So it's like, on the one hand, man, the rhetoric is pretty dramatic, the stuff that you're saying about hating drama. On the other hand, you're almost undeniable. Is Brown a modern-day Allie Robertson?
Yeah, which is ironic that we're talking, because Allie and I are getting married in a couple months. Hope you can make it. I can swing it now a little bit. But yeah, that's actually a perfect analogy. Like, I don't want all this stuff. I don't want the attention on me. But, like, the night after we get eliminated in the worst way that a Celtics team has been eliminated probably in their history, I'm going to go on Twitch and stream for a couple hours and talk about how the refs have an agenda against me. But, like, come on, guys. I'm just trying to keep it with the team. That's exactly it. I'm still a little intrigued by this whole desperation that it seems like for the Celtics to trade him, and I think that's probably where it's coming from, of like the relationship is just going to be too damaged. But the big takeaway, I think, initially from this Giannis trade is like, whew, the Heat finally did it. Like, the proposal that we have seen for every NBA star the last, like, 4 years that Heat fans have put out there on Twitter, like, actually became the trade package for Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's a bit of a bummer for the Celtics to miss out. I think there are still question marks around Giannis, at the age and with the injury history and the kind of numbers that NBA stars put up after season 14. I think there's still question marks there, but let's not make any mistake. Clearly, the Celtics were very invested in going to get Giannis. I don't know if this was just, hey, let's drive up the price for one of our Eastern Conference rivals and make them take a huge gamble. I think there's a little bit of that in there, but I think they really wanted Giannis, and I think specifically Brad Stevens really wanted Giannis. I don't know how much Joe Mazzulla wanted him.
The Miami Heat now have the Antetokounmpo in their fold, and I've talked to a couple analysts this week who said they're still a shooter away, a piece away from being true contenders in the East and being atop that the conference alongside the Celtics or the Knicks. Is that the case, or now all of a sudden the Miami Heat become a terror as it pertains to the Boston Celtics' chances to get to an NBA Finals?
No, I think there's still a piece away. You know, when I look at it from a 30,000-foot view, Giannis was having a problem in Milwaukee because he was carrying the load. He was the only star. He didn't really have any support, specifically in that backcourt. And the team was much better defensively when he was on the floor, and they were one of the worst in the league when he was off the floor. So you look at it, you know, Milwaukee, he was short another star, specifically in the backcourt, and it gets really cold there. In Miami, he's really the only star there. And if he has another one, it's Bam Adebayo, so he doesn't really have any help in the backcourt, but it's warm. I don't think the situation in Miami, talent-wise, is drastically better than it is in Milwaukee. It's better, but I don't think it makes them contention good. I think they're still short of a Celtics team, even though we don't know exactly what that looks like next year. And I think they are short of this Knicks team that was pretty darn good before they made a championship run and have those pieces in place still. So I don't think this propels Miami to real contention in the Eastern Conference, but they're certainly better than they were a week ago, just in terms of star power. And if Giannis is healthy, they become one of the toughest teams to play against defensively.
Cameron Stewart, Boston sports expert, joining the Drake Toll Show on Westwood One Sports. Cam, let's bring you to the Boston Red Sox. I guess, I'll try to keep the question fairly general as we jump in. Does it get any worse than this?
God, I hope not. Man, it's pretty bleak, man. This is probably the worst Red Sox team I've ever seen, and there have been some bad ones sprinkled in there. They went from a championship team in 2013 to back-to-back last place finishes. 2012 was kind of my generation's horror story that we talk about with Bobby Valentine and just how dysfunctional that team was. But even thinking back to that team, like, the wheels fell off in the spring of 2011, and they had to clean house. And, you know, they still had some talent. They weren't supposed to be that bad, but it was kind of a continuation. This year, it was finally going in the right direction, right? Like, they made the playoffs last year. They had stars. They had this great young rookie who looks to be the next face of the franchise, if not the next face of the league, in Roman Anthony. And this year, he was not very good to start the year, has had this crazy hand injury for almost 2 months now that nobody really knows quite what's going on here. He can't even swing a bat. And they're just downright horrible. Like, horrible. I mean, you lose 2 out of 3 to the other worst team in the major leagues. In both games, you had a lead going into the 7th inning against the Colorado Rockies, and you blew them both. And what's crazy is their starting rotation is still pretty good. They're still one of the best starting rotations in baseball, but they can't string together 3 runs in a freaking game, man. They're like the worst team ever to hit at Fenway Park, and it's a hitter's ballpark. It's crazy just how they missed the boat on what their real issue was last year. They didn't have anyone you feared in the middle of the order, and they actively made that worse in the offseason. They're one of they're projected to be, the pace that they're going, one of the 5 worst teams in the history of the franchise. A franchise that's been playing baseball for 125 years. I mean, we're talking about really bad stuff, and they're going to sell off, I think, all their major pieces that they can at the end of July. And if all goes well and the good Lord's shining on us, they will be looking for a new general manager at the end of the season.
The bookend of the Diana Rossini, Mike Vrabel saga is likely this: a long, really long New York Times article is posted that gives full details on the former employee of the Athletic, Diana Rossini, labeling her Miss Rossini, as if she was unmarried, and also including some odd rhetoric around both her time with the Athletic and her relationship with Mike Vrabel, and even the idea that she would FaceTime NFL coaches to get out of speeding tickets.
Come on, that's hilarious.
It's a good bit.
So good.
It's actually a pretty good bit. I'll give her that one.
Incredible.
And still no repercussion for Mike Vrabel. I think a lot of people had this was the expectation that Robert Kraft and company would. There is maybe the best response for this New England wise, and I made reference to Texas Tech. Like the way Texas Tech handled Brendan Sorsby, I should say, is terrible. Like they talked too much. Just everyone shut up for a second and let it go away, and he might still be a quarterback at Texas Tech. The Patriots just said, hey, no comment. And right now, this has died down, and Vrabel is now still coaching the offseason, getting the New England Patriots ready for next football season. Is there anything left here? What more on the Vrabel side must there be to completely bookend this, or is the Rossini scandal over?
Honestly, it might be over. You know, there might be a book coming or something. But I don't know where else this goes for the Vrabel saga in particular. Yeah, it's kind of a funny read yesterday. And certainly with how this has gone, obviously Rossini needing to resign and kind of how she's been held to the fire more than Vrabel, like she needs to kind of come out and tell her side of the story with this thing. I think the Patriots handled it as, hey, if we just kind of keep our mouth shut here, this is going to go away. And then it didn't go away right away. So I said, all right, Vrabel, do the therapy thing, but this will go away. This will go away. And it kind of has the last month or so. Before this, there wasn't a ton of chatter about, Mike Vrabel and his job security and Diana Rossini and all that. So they were kind of right. It has died down. I don't think there's any world where they fire him unless something comes out that they were banging in the team facility. I don't think there's any other thing to kind of put Mike Vrabel on the chopping block there. But it's crazy. They were kind of right. They said it would die down. Here it is dying down. And, in a month, they're going to be at training camp. And there's not going to be, there'll be some questions, obviously, the first couple of days, but I don't think there's going to be any questions about Mike Vrabel's job security. What I think really becomes interesting out of this, from a sports media standpoint, is how Diana Rossini's job as an NFL insider job looks differently in the coming years. Clearly there was a lot of gray area within the industry on how to get scoops, how to break stories, and I'm sure Diana Rossini is not the only one that was crossing boundaries here. That's why there were a lot of media outlets that didn't comment on things like this, because I think they know the price of getting news like this in the 2020s, and they don't want to risk losing that. But I think this now takes a critical look at what an NFL insider is and how they get their information.
Well, surely if Schefter and Harbaugh are getting it on, we'll find out in the coming weeks, and that exposure will be that New York Times article will be twice as long. Cameron Stewart at Real Cam Stewart on socials. Thanks for joining the Drake Toll Show up early with us, giving us the Boston perspective, and best of luck this weekend in Fargo, North Dakota with the Indianapolis Clowns.
Thank you. It's a big weekend for the Clowns. I am expecting a full bounce back in the lovely city of Fargo.
Myra G. All right, thanks again. Cameron Stewart joining the Drake Toll Show. You can follow him for all things Boston, all things Indianapolis Clowns, a Negro Leagues team and a stalwart of that brand in barnstorming baseball that has been revived in the Banana Ball Championship League. When we come back, the Giants are really upset with the gay community. Let's talk about it. This is the Drake Toll Show.
The U.S. Men's National.
Our naked bodies go on trial just for laughing at the joke, just for saying of the bargain what any sales girl already knows. Most of us old men die at the firing line, just waiting for our number to be called. I guess time just makes fools of us all. Now the king regales his stepson when he's loaded as a gun. Says a real man is like a country, you need a map to find your one. Now I do you suppose you must approach the throne with its back up against the wall. I guess time just makes fools of us all. Minds of my generation, glad they conscripted in the war of defending any Goliath that would deign darken the door. Now with your genius for picking battles, it's no wonder every helmet is too small. I guess time just makes fools of us all. I guess time just makes fools of us all. My drink is watered down, the champ is on his knees. He lost the rematch, he lost the comeback. He lost for charity, but that's the job. It's what gets the asses in the hall. They came for a beating, and he came to brawl. Notice that of all the young gods I have known, yours is easily the least famous to turn down the cover of a Rolling Stone. Lily white faces, so familiar and yet impossible to recall. I guess time just makes fools of us all. After a millennia of good times, God said, hey now, let's have a dream where we raise the stakes a little. Come on, let's make things interesting. Parachute into the Anthropocene, an amnesiac, a himbo doll. I guess time does make fools of us all.
This counts as ska. We can throw it in ska. I'll allow it.
What?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
What?
We can make it ska. That's fine.
Oh my god.
It's got some boss tones to it.
Oh my god.
Sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance. Protecting your business vehicles 24/7. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com. The Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports. The Westwood One Sports app. Good morning. It is the 7 o'clock hour Eastern time, and the Giants are not handling their Pride Night very well. This was a couple of weeks ago, and it's drawn out all the way into today, Thursday, June 25th, and it stems from Buster Posey, who many people find to be a little underqualified for his job, but also a Giants legend. And I mean, no one made the San Francisco Giants do a Pride Night, by the way. I want to throw that part out there. But when they did, it became a firestorm for the organization because the players, multiple players, were upset with this. Now, again, San Francisco is a city that would be considered a haven of acceptance and somewhere where a month like Pride Month is celebrated consistently. And the Giants, reflecting that, had a Pride Night. And then the world fell apart. That is the world of the Giants and their locker room. Let's start with this. I'm going to butt in, because it's a longer clip. So I'm going to butt in, but I'm going to give you the context of Buster Posey's original statement that he gave to the media in addressing the Pride Night the Giants held not that long ago. Here is Buster Posey.
I'd like to recognize that the organization has shared its response to Pride Night. I understand that there's strong feelings on this topic. There's differing perspectives, and out of respect to everybody involved, it's not something that I'm going to revisit. I understand that some fans are upset and frustrated, and I can promise you this is something that we've talked about a lot internally and will continue to do so. Our focus is on the team right now, the upcoming draft, the trade deadline, and trying to win games. So anybody that has baseball questions, I'm happy to take baseball questions from you now.
Did you object to those nights when you were a player? And also, did you or anyone from the organization talk to Tony, talk to the players, and explain the importance of this demographic to your business, the importance of this evening for the fans?
I mentioned that I'm not going to revisit it, so if you want to ask baseball questions, I'll answer baseball questions.
Were you
reach out to the community about any of this, or no? Again, if you want to go baseball questions, I made my statement on it. I'll answer baseball questions. But you have no response to the commissioner saying inadequate and unclear communication? I'll answer baseball questions.
Buster, why do you want to only answer baseball questions? There's some very important matters that the public is debating outside this organization.
I'm going to answer baseball questions.
Do you feel it's not your job as president of baseball operations? I mean, is this something we should be talking to Larry about?
Guys, you just need to keep it baseball related, or if you guys made this baseball related because you had Pride Night. You allowed players onto the field that MLB said should not have had writing on their caps, violated MLB rules. Then MLB said that you guys didn't communicate with the players properly, that they didn't have to wear the hat. So there's been no response about that. Get it? Buster made a statement. If you guys have any baseball questions, you can answer those, or we're going to be done.
So that is I want to commend the reporters because they didn't make this about, and I don't think it needs to be made the situation about whether or not you support the gay community. And I've said this multiple times on this show, and I understand. I want to emphasize and tell you that this is me doing the whole like, oh, I've got a gay friend. This is me effectively doing that. Like my neighbor Dale, right, who I bought 2 crepe myrtles from in the last month. Like Dale being gay, and it's like this is not ever something that comes up in conversation. Like, hey Dale, how is it to be gay today. Like, it's not something we talk about. This isn't something we have to focus on or an emphasis of our relationship. But it doesn't bother me. I don't know why it would bother me what Dale does in the free country of the United States of America. And this was instilled in me by my father, who's this, red blood conservative American in Valonia, Arkansas. He's like, I don't understand it. And as he's learned, as he's grown, his philosophy in a lot of this is if it's outside of my four walls, you do whatever you want, man. The free country. I support you in your exercising of your freedoms. And that's what the gay community is doing. Is just being like, hey, you guys told us we fought a war for this 250 years ago, right? For us to be able to be free. So we're good. We can be gay, right? Yeah, 100%. And we can celebrate the idea that this is something that we can have pride in the fact that, Dale can have a boyfriend or a husband, and now, as of the last decade, that's legal. It used to be illegal. They couldn't do it. Like, Dale's husband couldn't go to the hospital, and visit him on a deathbed because, hey, we don't do boyfriends. We only do, close, tight-knit family. And so the gay community is like, hey, we're excited that this is legal, that it's not illegal to do this anymore. And we have the freedom to celebrate that. And we, the gay community, we didn't make the Giants do a Pride Night. We didn't force that upon you. Had you not done it, there's always the court of public opinion. There's always consequences to that, and people are going to talk about that. The gay community is a large piece of San Francisco. But and underserving Buster Posey is the problem. It's not even do you support people who are gay? Do you not support them? That's not even where to start. The reporters are saying, Buster, you are underqualified for the job that you're doing. You made this a baseball issue. It pertains to baseball, pertains to the Giants, and you don't have the backbone to answer our questions. You made the decision to have a Pride Night. You did not emphasize to your baseball players at the baseball stadium for the baseball game that they didn't have to wear pride hats if they didn't want to. And Buster, as your former teammates are coming out and saying, well, yeah, we were winning World Series, Buster, I tell you what, we hated gay people. Those are Aubrey Huff tweeted that yesterday in a rant. And I'm not going to say that Buster Posey believes that, but damn, man. And in a situation where you made it about baseball, and then the commissioner saying, hey, these guys effectively failed to communicate to their players. You didn't have to do this. No one in the MLB is forcing it upon you. Hell, we're not forcing Pride Night upon you. The Rangers don't do it. There are multiple MLB teams who didn't do Pride Night this year. You, the Giants, did. Then made it seem like at least alluded to your players that, well, you've got to wear these hats. And so in response to that, your players made a firestorm by writing Bible verses on the hats. And guess what? I, the host of the Drake Toll Show, guess what? I don't care if you do. Number one, I don't care if you wear a rainbow hat, all 162. I don't care if you wear a Bible verse on your hat, all 162. Where I start to care, where it starts to seem a bit performative is, number one, why didn't you wear the Bible verse the other games for the season? Why did you only want to showcase that once, only tonight? And number two, and more importantly, if you're the Giants, it should be communicated clearly to your team, you don't have to do this. If for some reason my neighbor who's gay makes you uncomfortable, if supporting their legality to get married to someone of the same gender is an issue for you, fine. Wear the normal hat. And if you, Buster Posey, don't have the backbone, don't have the communication skills, don't have the wherewithal, don't have the experience to communicate that to your players, that is your fault, and you are supposed to answer those questions. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Doesn't work when you're an executive in Major League Baseball, in the Giants organization. The reporters, the fans, the players deserve your answers that you won't give. This isn't about gay or straight. It's not about Pride Night or Bible verses. This is about an executive who didn't communicate. It's an executive who's at fault. And instead of answering questions, he deflects. You made it a baseball thing. Went to the baseball game at the baseball stadium for the baseball night. You had a pride night, and you didn't do it correctly. That's on you. Coming up, our idiots of the day. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
This
Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization and Locked On Big 12 and the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Foster the people? Yeah.
Good job.
Pumped up kicks. Good.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Getting better at it. Getting better at the game. It is 8 o'clock Eastern time. Let's revisit it for a second at the very least. The World Cup last night. Mexico. Addie, you have a minute and a half. Take the show wherever you'd like.
I went to bed a Mexican. I woke up a Mexican. I'm a very proud Mexican. I was a proud Mexican yesterday. I'm a proud Mexican today. I'll be a proud Mexican tomorrow. Yesterday at the bar, Memo Ochoa, longtime goalie for Team Mexico, 40 years old. Final game. 40 years old, and he's retiring because he said without Team Mexico, there's really nothing. He went out there, and it was amazing. The entire stadium was up. They were all cheering. El Rey was playing, and it's amazing. Dudes rock. How are we not crying right now? I was crying. You were crying. Your grandma was crying. Mi abuelita was crying. That's how much he means. That's how much he means to the world, the country, the sport, to me.
Why was my grandma crying?
Gosh, I'm sure she loves him too. How can you not? It's Memo Ochoa. If she doesn't even watch soccer, at least he was a good-looking guy.
Was or is?
Depends how you look at it. Thank you. It's Memo Ochoa.
You want to play the highlights?
Yeah, we can do that.
Wait, can I play this one that I've been wanting to play? Hold on.
Sheets. And Ochoa was able to join in the fun for the last few minutes. And everyone here thrilled that Guillermo Ochoa got on the pitch in his 6th World Cup.
Oh!
Little white boy over there.
Oh my God!
Now what? Gringo's got fights.
Looked at the lyrics in that moment.
Vicente Fernandez, come on. Come on. El Rey, come on. Come on. Low-hanging fruit, too easy. Mexico wins 3-0 last night. Undefeated in the group stage and will be home. Yeah, home team, yeah. In a year where some of the biggest brands in the world, was it Spain and Cape Verde who ended in a 2-2 draw? Like in a year where some of the bigger names in soccer just aren't delivering, the fact that Mexico and the United States, and it's weird to group them together, I understand, but also both countries have had their individual struggles. The World Cup, compared to nations like France in the past, or Spain. And now, for the United States and Mexico to both have pomp and circumstance that matters, like, hey, you get to host the World Cup, and oh, by the way, you're going to be good at it? It's a new feeling for a lot of folks on both sides of the border here. It is the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, and the Westwood One Sports app. It is time completely unrelated from anything Mexico or the United States in the World Cup for our idiots of the day. Idiot of the day. Yeah. This is what happens when Addie's like, guys, I found music.
Well, in my defense, our boss said, I want something with like tubas and trombones and something goofy.
I think, right. I do believe our boss was a bit upset. Not upset, but cautious toward the term idiot. He's like, all right, be careful calling people idiots. Let's make it seem kind of goofy, kind of silly, kind of fun. So this is our silly goofy. What's the name of this one?
Slap and tickle or tickle.
Stop and tickle, yep.
Stop and pull. And...
Yep. Still not on board, but that's the song that plays for Idiot of the Day. Idiot of the Day number 1. J.D. Vance calling himself an idiot? No, J.D., don't do this to yourself. We've all been here. I might follow the J.D. Vance camp on this one. Here's what he had to say about his tenure as a former boyfriend.
The woman who's now the second lady, she and I were dating. I was not a very good boyfriend. I had a terrible temper. I had, in hindsight, what people would have called attachment problems. And so we'd have an argument, and I'd be like, all right, see you later. Call me in a few days.
Psycho.
Wow.
Sounds about right.
JD Vance, boyfriends. What do you? Okay. Now, to be fair, I am a communicator, if not over communicator in relationships. I think it's pretty. I've never been part of the whole take 2 days off and just not talk to someone. I think that's kind of stupid. Okay, I'm going on a trip this weekend. We can't even speak because I'm so mad at you. I think it's pretty. So I'm not gonna vibe with the vice president on that one. I don't know where that comes from. Like how people in relationships do that. Do the whole we're just not gonna talk for a week. It's gonna help us. Does that help?
No. Not in my experience. I don't know. You've had a lot more girlfriends than I've had boyfriends, so maybe you're the expert on that.
Yeah, but he's a guy, so no.
I don't trust Drake's relationship advice, though. That's the thing. I'm on the fence on that one. The jury's still out.
Never given you relationship advice, nor would I probably ever.
No, I just mean in general, your opinion. I guess, I think the problem is, I was a terrible boyfriend. I had temper and attachment issues. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's why therapy exists, brother. That's why you gotta go to therapy, okay?
Brother. I think he did go to therapy, to be fair. He had there was the movie, because his mom did drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, and then stole them from people.
Yes, which you also shouldn't do. I've been saying that. You should not kidnap and rob people or steal drugs from people. In this scenario, I'm glad he got the help he needed to be a good boyfriend now.
Did he know? Has that been confirmed?
He's a good boyfriend now. Idiot of the day, Richard Jefferson. So Jeff Goodman tweets, and he's right. You better know someone damn well to say something like this. And judging from Jay Will's reaction, he doesn't have the kind of relationship with Richard Jefferson. Just a bad look. Richard Jefferson, draft night, throws some serious shade at Jay Williams, and Jay Williams did not like it. Here's the clip from ESPN.
So we saw some. Where were you? You got some diamond earrings. Oh, I did. I got some diamond earrings. That mustache? How was it with that mustache? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I was saying the mustache. It wasn't elite stash. I've never seen a 20-year-old with a stash like that. That's what the conversation. Because where were you? I was hanging out with my family. I was having a good time. You didn't want to come? I knew I was going to be a lottery pick, so I decided to stay. I forgot 13. Lottery. Yeah. Hey, why such a big ovation for you? Was there something? Yeah. I was loud. Chicago, I don't know. Well, most of the people that went to Duke were from New Jersey, New York. So, well, they also didn't see the future coming, so they were cheering kind of free. Sorry, I apologize. And listen, wow, the guy was a unbelievable talent. He was okay in college. He was okay in college. He was okay. And his career trajectory would have been a lot different if he didn't like homes. Yes. That's on record. I wrote a book about it. That's why I beat everybody to the punch. Yeah. I guess everybody that goes to Duke isn't that smart. Wait, he wrote a book about it. I'm agreeing with him. No, you can't be that smart, right? But anyway.
Really weird exchange where effectively Richard Jefferson says, ma'am, after Jay Will got drafted, those fans, they were cheering because they didn't know what was coming. They didn't see the future. They didn't see how bad you were going to be, right? Right? To which Jay Williams is like, wow. And everything got super awkward. And Jefferson doubled down. Just because you went to Duke doesn't mean you're that smart. Richard Jefferson throwing shade on Jay Williams' NBA career. And to be fair, there wasn't a ton there. Richard Jefferson had a solid NBA career. But Addie, I don't think these two are friends like that.
That is crazy. I just could not throw shade at someone that I'm not besties with. And even then, it's more playful and stuff. When you don't really know someone, it's called uncertainty reduction, whether you're going to reveal as much as you want to or whatever, based on how much you know someone, you don't know them. You can't make fun of them. You can't throw shade. It's not like you're an analyst and this is a high profile player and you're like, what, LeBron should have done this and he's stupid for not. That's different. That was crazy. I probably got him left.
Yeah. Idiot of the day. I'm going to throw a new one in there. This is unprompted, but Addie, I think I just keep going back to it, and I can't avoid it. Tony Vitello. And here's what I think is happening. I think he'll be the Giants manager for 2 years. I think he'll get 2 years, or a year and a half. And then this time, a year and a half from now, he will be the manager, head coach of the University of Arkansas. I think that was always kind of his trajectory, was after Tennessee, and he wanted a bridge. Hey, let's go make a ton of money coaching the Giants, and then I'll go back to the college game where I know that I can win and win at a high level. Tony Vitello is just a bad Major League Baseball manager.
And Buster Posey is a bad president of baseball operations. That's the problem, is you have these guys who were beloved in their respective fields. When Buster was playing, I mean, he is the face of that franchise. That and Barry Bonds, I get it. But then Tony Vitello was the face of Tennessee baseball. He was a great head coach. He was a great manager. And then you put them together hoping you can try something new, and they just can't handle it. They just can't. And I loved Tony. I really wanted him to do well. But I think this is a lot for him. I truly do, and I don't think it's any better. It's not helping him that Buster doesn't know what he's doing up there either. They don't know how to handle pressure of, one, this whole Pride Night thing is just a little bit. But having a bad baseball team, when you have that roster, they don't know how to put out all these fires, and it's a disaster over in San Francisco. I'm so sorry if you're a Giants fan right now.
Yeah, you're top. You hit nail on the head here. From top to bottom, the organization needs some help. Idiot of the day, the Citadel. Well, not the military guys. They're fine. They do the military thing. But Reddit FCS posts, and I verified this. It's true. 50 additional remains have been discovered at Citadel's football stadium. When built in 1948 over Tower Hill Cemetery, where 23 to 26,000 enslaved people, immigrants, orphans, poor, and some Confederates were interred, only the gravestones were removed, not the bodies. They just built the Citadel football stadium in South Carolina, in Charleston, on a graveyard.
That's literally the plot of Poltergeist. He didn't move the bodies. That's the whole point of the movie.
You ever see the Kathy Bates scene in the Tooie movie with the orphan? He goes to Ole Miss. The Blind Side. There's a Kathy Bates scene where she's like, you can't go to LSU. They'll reach up out of the ground and they'll grab you. The dead bodies. I love Kathy Bates. She's the tutor in that movie. She's played a lot of interesting roles over the course of her career. My favorite actress of all time, Misery's great. How did she go from Misery to being a side one-off character in her and Houston Nutt? Her and Lou Holtz have like the same amount of lines.
She can do whatever she wants. She can do whatever she wants. She's
No,
a
she's
Titanic,
a star.
Waterboy. She can do whatever she wants. And her last name is Bates, so she's automatically on top. That's my girl.
Are you related? You're not. That'd be really cool if you were. She's my favorite actress ever. I'm thinking about it. We've worked together for 6 months. I'm having this thought for the first time. Dating back to December 29th, to be exact. Not 28th. Oops. Idiot of the day, me. Idiot of the day, the Citadel. You deserve that for, having a football stadium built on a cemetery. 50 new bodies have been discovered. Idiot of the day, the Clippers. The updated Paul George trade. So remember when the Clippers got Paul George, which didn't really do anything for the Clippers? That trade has led to this for Oklahoma City. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari, Trey Mann, Jalen Williams, Kaysen Wallace, Nikola Topic, Thomas Sorber, and now Adai Mara, with another 2027 pick also in the fold there. The Clippers sold their entire soul to get Paul George, and Oklahoma City got, an NBA championship roster and a dynasty trajectory through the picks and whatnot they received. Looking back, not a very good trade. And ultimately, the Clippers were the biggest losers there and our idiot of the day. And our final idiot of the day, the New York Magazine. The cover of the New York Magazine has Jalen Brunson on it, obviously. Of course it should. New York, written in the cool font at the top. And it says, in big letters, it's good to be king. Jalen Brunson, good to be king. And then, in the little bitty font underneath that, Jalen Brunson takes it all Yep. Jalen, yes, he does. Okay. All right, there you go. Him and Josh Hart both. I beg your pardon, he does. What? That's a tweet from Josh Hart. Yeah, his teammate Josh Hart was surprised the New Yorker used that verbiage. Josh Hart hits the New Yorker with a pause moment. Yeah. He does what? Pause. Bonk. Bonk, more importantly. When we come back, let's take you to Major League Baseball. Danny Wexelman will join the Drake Toll Show. It is the dog days of summer, and we're halfway through. Now you know how good or how bad your team is going to be unless Grimace rears his ugly head and creates a monster out of the New York Mets, which I don't think will happen. Let's cover a whip around of Major League Baseball right here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Hey lady, you got the love I need. Maybe more than enough. Oh, darling, 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 walk a while with me. Oh, you got so much, so much, so much.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization, Locked On Big 12, and right here on Westwood One Sports. And now, joining the program, back by popular demand, Danny Wexelman. Danny, also of the Codcast, by the way. People, don't overlook that part. I'll be making my annual pilgrimage to Hyannis, Massachusetts. I'm wearing my Hyannis threads today in 5 days to visit the Cape Cod Baseball League, the last best league. Danny, before we jump into Cape Cod baseball, which I'll probably sneak a question in there later, you're up front with the Cardinals broadcast team and covering a team that is, I'll use the word, ahead of schedule. Is that an appropriate way to describe the 2026 St. Louis Cardinals?
Yeah, I mean, I think, first of all, thanks for having me. I appreciate being back. I love getting to talk ball, you know that. So, yeah, I think that's a great way of putting it. I think that they had a really, really good plan going into the offseason. Chaim Bloom took over as president of baseball operations, and this is a man who has a plan. And I think that in order to execute the future of the St. Louis Cardinals, there had to be a really good idea of, hey, this is how we're going to allow our young guys to play. We're going to allow them to get playing time. We're going to allow them to come up here, and we're going to get a really chunky sample size of what they actually can accomplish when they get the opportunity to play every day or almost every single day. And so I think what you're watching, number one, is a team that added manpower. They have a spunky young core, and they have a coaching staff that will invest any time, any moment, any amount of information that they can into this group that's really hungry to win and to compete. And inside that clubhouse, it's really fascinating. Like, watching the day-to-day is really cool for me. It's something that I haven't had the opportunity to do in my career, and get a peek under the hood to really understand how organizations like the Cardinals are doing what they're doing right now. And so obviously they didn't invest monetarily, but internally they're investing a ton of value and information and technology into the group they have. So to see them arriving at this point, I think that they're out kicking the coverage externally people had about them. Internally, I think they know that they're capable of winning games, and they do it in the margins, right? This team wins in the margins, and eventually they won't have to do that every single night. But in this season, ahead of schedule, as you say, they're winning in the margins, and I'm having the time of my life covering them.
One of my favorite stories out of St. Louis has been Jordan Walker. And I didn't realize until, I guess, the last week or so, he's 24 years old. I didn't know he's that young. I mean, this is... Yeah. He jumps on the scene, and in 77 games, he's had a career highs in home runs, RBI already. He's slashing 290, 342, 521. Take me into the clubhouse with a guy like Jordan Walker and how his surgence has ignited the Cardinals.
Well, let me take you back before I take you in the clubhouse for a second. So I covered him in high school. This kid was a Duke commit, a strong, humongous third baseman with a really powerful bat. And he gets drafted by the Cardinals, and they decide they need to move him to right field because they have Nolan Arenado. They have Nolan Gorman. They have guys who play third base that they prefer over there, so that he moves positions. He comes up, he debuts, he has a great rookie season, and then he falls off because the league adjusts to you. You're 21 years old, you're a baby, and you are drafted out of high school. So when kids are drafted out of high school, you're completely lacking like a sense of self. You're lacking social skills. Like, I'm not saying Jordan specifically, but in general, I've covered amateurs for 15 years, and this is the trend that you see. Mm-hmm. So it's really tough. And at the big league level, the game is moving 1,000,000 miles an hour. Like, you blink and you've missed 10 things in the game for your brain to think that fast. And so he fell off, and he was called up way too soon. Not cooked or developed enough to come up for the Cardinals just because he had a good spring. And so then you have to learn at the big league level, and it took a few years. So, it actually isn't this year what he's doing. It's the past few years having to fail, and he failed massively, and he did it on the biggest stage in our sport, and he still came back. And so what you're watching is a product of a ton of failure and a lot of information to process to actually understand what he has to do and what work you actually have to do to be good at your job every single day. And that's with the support of the staff. That's with Jordan putting in a massive amount of work every single day to understand what are the lanes in which he should be swinging at pitches, which pitches can he do damage on, which can he leave. I say it's really hard to execute. And then in the field, he's been working with John Jay, the outfield coach, to improve not only the accuracy of what he's doing in the outfield, which you go from infield to outfield is very difficult. You're working with depth perception, trying to catch a ball in the air. You have to figure out your route. Who's your cutoff man? Like, when do you dive? When do you not? Like, when do you attack the ball? When do you have a second to breathe and let it come to you? Like, there's so many things that people don't realize goes into the position that he never played growing up. So watching him display his tools this year is remarkable. To go from what he had struggled with the last few years after having some early success in his debut season. This is a kid who could win comeback player of the year. This is a kid who, if he's able to sustain what he's doing, you're going to watch a career season for him.
Danny Wexelman joining the Drake Toll Show. Danny, I want to make it a little more broad here. Talking Major League Baseball, and a month and a half ago, I looked at the AL. I was like, oh man, the AL is just treading water. A month and a half later, I'm going to ask you an impossible question because I can't conceptualize this right now. A couple facts and figures give you. No team in their last 10 games has won more than 6 games out of the entire AL. Only 3 teams have a plus run differential on the season. Only 1 team has a run differential that is plus 10 or better. It's the New York Yankees. It's 1 of 15 in the AL right now, and a lot of these division leaders are hovering around 500, all of them not named the New York Yankees. How have we gotten to a point in Major League Baseball where there's such a clear split between talent in the American League and the National League?
Yeah, I actually think it's just a fluke. Like, I don't think that you could sit here and you could compile a bunch of data and explain what's going on this year, because this isn't what you see. This is like so incredibly rare to see such a distinction between the two divisions. And not only that, to kind of watch the American League pale in comparison on the developmental side. And I think like what you're seeing is from the National League side of things, a lot of teams that are in medium-sized markets. I look at the NL Central in particular and the Milwaukee Brewers, who always do more with less. They always make lemonade out of lemons, and what they do exceptionally well is invest in their R&D, their research and development. They have manpower. They make sure they have the latest information and technology. People don't realize, like, the game evolves in the middle of the season. Teams can acquire new technology, but they have to have the manpower. And so I think what you see on the National League side are teams that have that and also understand that they don't have the money. They don't have the resources necessarily that some of the teams on the coasts do and teams with larger payrolls do. And so, like, I think development, which sounds kind of lame, but is the reason that those teams in particular on the National League side are thriving right now. They took a page out of the Tampa Bay Rays playbook and they applied it to their own teams and understood that, hey, we got to squeeze the most out of every single guy. So we need to make sure in the minor leagues we're arming them with every possible tool so when they come up, not only do they assimilate to what we're already doing, right? There were years in the past where you would hear that minor league teams were not doing the same thing or speaking the same language as the major league team. And so cleaning things like that up on the American League side of things, like the draft and development has not been as good. Like you could point to that. Number one, you could point to the fact that they all kind of stink, which is fascinating, but the National League is thriving this year, it's ironic. Like, you know, I grew up in St. Louis, so I've watched the National League for a long, long time, and it never really has been this way. But I think you're just seeing like a wave of teams understand how they need to be better marginally to compete with larger payrolls, and they're doing it, and it's fun to watch, and it's names that you're not paying enough attention to. I guarantee if you look around the National League as a whole, especially go look at the Washington Nationals and look at the names on that team, right? That's a quote-unquote rebuilding year for them. They're ahead of schedule. That's a phrase, that was a great phrase that you used. Like, you could look at them as well. So I think I love it. I mean, it's a ton of fun to watch. It's probably not fun if you're an American League fan or your team is in the AL right now, but look at teams who are spending in the developmental phases and draft. Like, who's drafting the best right now? Those are the teams that thrive.
Yeah, as a Texas Rangers fan, it is good to know that you're one 4-game winning streak away from being atop the American League. Like that's the cool part is the span of 4 business days. Yeah, everything can change for where you sit in your division in the American League. In the National League, it's different. Even with the Braves on a skid right now, and I'm hopeful that injuries don't derail their season. Coming into the year, I thought that the Braves were too injury-ridden to be where they are, to be at 48 wins already, pushing 50. Where the Brewers sit right now. We knew the Dodgers would be here, but the consistency out of Atlanta to rebound and still stay afloat despite, again, those injuries and the skid they're on right now, but to be first in the division by 4.5 games, for the Brewers to be dominating the way they are in a Central that's so loaded, for the Dodgers to be the Dodgers. When you look at the heavyweights out of the National League, who has the strongest leg up to try to knock off the Dodgers as it pertains to making a World Series?
Yeah, I mean, and that's been the bugaboo for the past few years, and I appreciate you phrasing it in that way, because I think what's so frustrating is hearing a narrative of like nobody can beat the Dodgers. They're unstoppable, and that's not true. There are teams that are wildly talented. Milwaukee is one of them. Atlanta is one of them. You know, Atlanta changing leadership with Walt Weiss coming in, I think, has been a really steady hand for them, and the talent, I think that they're outkicking what I expected, but I do think they're capable if their pitching staff can stay healthy. Obviously, they can score a ton of runs, but you're talking about a high-octane offense in the Dodgers, and the depth that they display every night is hard to game plan against. It's a challenge for every team in baseball to game plan against the Dodgers, because on any night, you got a guy like Alex Call who can step in and have a wonderful night and have an impactful night, and they're still waiting to get some guys back healthy. And so I like the Brewers a lot. I think that what the Brewers struggle with, and they have the past few postseasons, is having a guy who can launch the ball out and have a clutch moment, because they don't historically have guys who hit home runs, and their team does not excel in that department. And so, like, that's what you have to look at. The Brewers, I think the Braves, I had high hopes for the Cubs. They've fallen off, especially Edward Cabrera heading to the IL. Their pitching staff is decimated right now. So I leave it up to the Brewers and to the Braves. At the moment, Milwaukee, I think, is not getting the love they ever deserve, but they are, you could argue, the best team in baseball, the way that they go out and function every single night under Pat Murphy. They do, what they do well is runners in scoring position. The other day I was looking at it, they've launched, I think, the 4th most home runs with runners in scoring position. So I like that, like, timely hitting, right? If you can't have a guy in your lineup who's going to consistently hit a home run, when do you hit them? That's the second best option you got. So I'm with you on Milwaukee and Atlanta. I think right now they're the front runners to be able to accomplish something like that.
Now, Danny Wexelman joins the Drake Toll Show. And Danny, before we get you out of here, again, appreciate you being up early with us. The Cape Cod Baseball League. When I saw the podcast this week, watched the podcast this week, and if not for my time broadcasting Hyannis 4 years ago, I wouldn't be at Westwood 1, I wouldn't be with Bananas, I wouldn't be where I am. And to have experienced a summer on Cape it's just a sports world that I think a lot of people, until you enter it, you don't really get it, that mystique, the feeling, the 6 p.m. on a Tuesday when baseball just goes back in time. You're now your time covering the Cape Cod Baseball League. What makes this level, this version of amateur baseball so unique?
Yeah, and I'll be so transparent with you. I've actually never spent a summer getting to cover the Cape. They reached out to me. They're so kind. Andrew Lang, who oversees a lot of the operations, had reached out to me last winter, and I have admired, their work, and I obviously cover college baseball and amateur baseball, I think, with the best of them, and so they reached out and asked if I would be interested, and understanding that my life is absolutely insane, and if I would be interested in doing it. You can't turn something like that down. It has been my life's goal to get out there and spend time there, but my schedule and my life has not quite afforded me the chance to do it. So this for me is an honor of a lifetime. And I think what I can speak to is covering people who have spent time there. And I know we have an episode coming out with Buck Showalter. Billy Wagner's come on, and hearing their time spent on the Cape when those guys spent the whole summer there, and they had jobs, and they lived with their host families for the entire summer, who took care of them. And these guys would wake up and go work, and then they would go to the field. And to hear them share life experiences, like the Cape is a life experience. It's not a summer just playing ball. It's something that shapes them and has shaped those who have come through their whole lives, and they keep in touch with their host families, and they go back to the Cape. I know, we're trying to get John Savage on. He's out there right now. Like, people who invest in the Cape and understand what it actually can do for, as you explained, a career, who you are as a human being, it's unparalleled. And the people who are out there volunteering, and the families who volunteer, and the kids who actually get to go out there, spend significant time, understand what an incredible treat it is, and an honor to do that. So it's truly my honor to get to share those stories. Like, I love stories, and it's high on my priority list to get out there. But the job I've got right now has made it a little tougher. But I will get out there, and yeah, you're right. It's an incredible place. It's baseball heaven.
Well, yeah, I'm confident you don't have to be there to feel the weight of it and be able to tell those stories. And grateful for people like you who are telling those stories. Danny Wexelman, where can folks find more of your Cardinals coverage, more of your Major League Baseball coverage, and obviously your Cape Cod coverage as well?
Yeah, it's really nice of you. So I'm on Cardinals TV. I'll be on tonight if you're interested in watching the pre and post game show. I'll be sidelined next week in Atlanta and Chicago. Cardinals TV is where we're at. Sirius XM, MLB Network Radio on Sundays, 1 to 4 Eastern with Cole Tucker. We've got Sunday Sliders. And then the podcast has all social media. They have their games airing, by the way, on channels that are over in Boston. They've got their own TV circuit. And then social media, we're all over social media for the Cape Cod League, CCBL. If you look it up on social media, you can watch the episodes. You can listen wherever you find your podcasts. Sarah Lang is my producer. She's exceptional. And the guests that we've got are world-class major leaguers, former managers, former players, Hall of Famers. The list is exceptional broadcasters. So, yeah, I appreciate you having me and letting me share a little bit. As always, it's a blast.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Danny Wexelman. You can follow her at Danny Wex on Twitter, covering the St. Louis Cardinals and Major League Baseball, as well as Cape Cod Baseball League. When we come back, Mexico, the World Cup. Mexico's good. The United States plays tonight against Turkey. It's Westwood One Sports. It's the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
say you're mine. You got the music in you, don't let go. You got the music in you. One dance left, this world is gonna go through. Don't give up, you got a reason to live. Can't forget, we only get what we give. Don't let go, I feel the music in you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's real can't die. You only get what you give. You're gonna get what you give. Don't give up. Just don't be afraid to leave. Health insurance with our flying. FDA big bank is buying. Fake computer crashes, dying, cloning. Well, they're multiplying. Fashion shoots with Becky Hansen, Courtney Love, and Marilyn Manson. You're all baked right to your mansions. Come around, we'll kick your ass in. Don't let go.
This is the Drake Toll Show on Westwood One Sports. Here's Drake Toll.
And I was taking shots from the front and the back. Dire Straits brings us back. The Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Addie Bates produces. Laura Jimenez runs the board. It is the 8 o'clock hour Eastern time. And let's close this thing out in the World Cup. Mexico. That's right, Mexico got the win last night, 3-0. But the main storyline was less the whole winning thing and more the legend. Memo Ochoa enters the game, subs in at goalkeeper, and the whole place goes nuts.
We're just allowing Mexico to play and bring on the party pieces. Raul Arangel makes way for the legend. And we are talking about one of the greats of Mexican football, Guillermo Ochoa. In his 40s now, but age is not withering him. And it's a delight to see Ochoa on the pitch as another World Cup. Well, it's a standing ovation from 80,000 people.
Yeah, pretty good stuff. Addie, as a notable Mexico fan, Laura, either of you would like to hop in here. That moment for Memo Ochoa, put it into, conceptualize it for me.
When the United States won the Olympics, when that was a thing and everybody was together, doesn't matter if you like hockey or not, but when that happens and everybody was unified, that's how it felt last night. It's just something that was so amazing happening in real time, something that you had been waiting for so long. This is his final game. That's how amazing it was. And I know that a lot of people were crying. I do know that. Tears of joy, of course. But it was such a beautiful moment, and it was such a perfect way to end his career because that is where he began his career. And so it was so beautiful.
Laura?
No, I just think in the same way that everyone saw the last game that Kobe played. Not comparing him to Kobe, but in the feeling that you get seeing like a really great player, a player that's been there for a long time. A lot of people grew up watching him. just play his last game, especially on like a international platform. It just gets you right in the heart. Everyone's singing the song. It's nice to know that despite any of the politics, everyone loves him.
Yeah, and Mateo Chávez last night for Mexico, netting a goal that sent all of Monterrey into a frenzy. Here's another highlight from Fox. They did a great job covering the Mexican win.
Somehow kept them going. Shoveled it off. Romo. And how about this? Stylish. Really stylish. Mateo Chávez. Listen to the Mexican roar.
Listen to the Mexican roar. Again, me, Tuesday night when they bring fajitas to the table. That's what I say. It's a problem when I say it, but on Fox they can just willy-nilly freely throw that one out there. Yesterday in the World Cup, Bosnia-Herzegovina 3, Qatar 1, Switzerland 2, Canada 1, Morocco 4, Haiti 2, Brazil blank, Scotland 3-0, Mexico 3-0 over Czechia, and South Africa, for the first time ever after a 1-0 victory over South Korea, will be moving on to the knockout phase of the World Cup. Again, first time ever. Here's the final call. South Africa knew it was going to the next.
Area. And there it is, full time. From the disaster of Mexico City to the miracle in Monterrey. And for the first time in their history, Bafana Bafana are on to the knockout rounds of the World Cup. And remember the name, Tapelo Maseko. He scores the game winner in the 63rd. Mama Joy loves it.
That is what the World Cup's all about. Today, Curaçao and Ivory Coast will take on one another at 4 o'clock Eastern time. Ecuador and Germany, Japan and Sweden, Tunisia and the Netherlands, Paraguay and Australia, Turkey and the United States at 10 o'clock Eastern. 10 o'clock Eastern time tonight on Fox. You can watch the World Cup, 10 o'clock Eastern. The United States has already won its groups, so you can play Turkey kind of however you'd like to this evening. And the U.S. feels the verbiage out of their camp has been no pressure. They feel no pressure. They feel relaxed going into the match against Turkey at SoFi Stadium. Elsewhere, before we close the show, do not, this is kind of parting thought for your Thursday, rob or kidnap people. Yeah, I should have said that on yesterday's show. Maybe this wouldn't have happened. I should have said this in January, February. Detroit Lions cornerback Terrion Arnold allegedly kidnapped 4 people and robbed 4 people. He's been arrested and accused. He's been charged with 4 counts of kidnapping and 4 counts of robbery. Authorities in Florida alleged that in February he orchestrated a retaliation attack after burglary at his rental property. Too bad he got the wrong guys, and in retaliation for what he thought was a burglary of his Airbnb, he's like, oh, I'll get them back by kidnapping and robbing them. And then he just kidnapped and robbed the wrong guys. I asked yesterday what were the implications of no longer having Blip and Nitro on the show, as we said goodbye to Curtis Poindexter, who is a foundational piece of building the personality of the Drake Toll Show and somebody who we value greatly as he goes in the next stages of his radio career. We eulogized his time as Blip and Nitro's sidekick using his big sniffer, the private's investigator. We eulogized Blip and Nitro, and this is a case that Blip and Nitro could have solved if not for Curtis's departure. So while we are devastated that Curtis is no longer part of the show and he did build what it is today, we are even more devastated that without Blip and Nitro, people are being kidnapped and robbed. It's time for trivia. Are you smarter than Drake Toll?
All right, we got a good one for you tonight. We got Laura. We got Drake. Laura, what's the first category?
Music.
Which Australian pop group had a hit with Need You Tonight in the 80s?
Network.
Wow, you both said Australian group, but it was NXS, so I'm proud of y'all, no matter what.
Okay. Thank you. No, that's all right. Great.
Next category.
History.
History.
Which city was formerly called New Amsterdam?
Amsterdam.
New Amsterdam? It's still called that.
Which American city was formerly called New Amsterdam?
New York.
There
City.
it is. There it is. 1 point Drake Toll. What's the next category?
Movies.
Movies.
Who is the daughter of Janet Leigh and became a horror icon herself through the Halloween franchise.
That lady from Freaky Friday.
Molly Ringwald.
No.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Finally.
Next category.
Science.
Science.
What are the 3 stages of the water cycle?
Condensation, evaporation, participation.
We'll give it to both of y'all. You'll get to split the point there.
Is no one shot about fast now?
The final category.
Random.
What museum designed by Frank Lloyd Wright was opened in 1959?
Fight Club.
I don't know. The Louvre.
The Guggenheim Museum, guys.
Guggenheim, but it's fine. Nolan Shonwell is fast now. That game always takes that game can always be done in 90 seconds. We need to find a way to elongate that game. 10 rounds, 20 rounds, the whole show, trivia.
Well, you don't know any of the 5 answers. Why would we make that longer?
I got like half of them today. Addie Bates produces. Laura Jimenez runs the board. In the arms of the angel. Love Curtis. Armin Williams, Bruce Gilbert, Colin Jones, Ryan McGuire. Thanks for a job. I appreciate it. You bet. It's coming up. We'll be with you tomorrow, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Love ya. This has been, it always will be, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. The Drake Toll Show.
This is